Kane, and I'm the entertainment editor at the Herald and Review, and I'm at my desk. While I was on vacation over the holidays, get into a discussion about romantic comedies. I'm not a huge fan of romantic comedies. In fact, I usually say there might be one or two a year that come out that I think are really decent. But as I've complained about to you before, here and on my column and on my blog, the issue that I have with romantic comedies is there's the requirement to always hit each of the beats. I mean, if you watch a preview of a romantic comedy, of most romantic comedies, or if you watch like the first 15, 20 minutes of most romantic comedies, if you don't know what's going to happen, if you don't know how it's going to turn out, you just haven't seen them before. I mean, once you've seen a handful of them and know the genre, all the beats are there and you know exactly what's going to happen, and I hate that. But a couple times a year, romantic comedies come out and they get the notice from reviewers who are tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over again, and those reviewers will point out these are different. And those are the ones that I end up taking a look at. A lot of times they aren't different, but sometimes they're different enough for me to go, yeah, that's special. Now, before I go into the rest of this, let me make it clear. If romantic comedies are your thing, knock yourself out. If you love watching Jennifer Aniston play the same character in every movie that she does, if you love watching Renee Zellweger play the same character in every movie that she does, that's fine. Go with it. Knock yourself out. Have Gerald Butler or Mark Ruffalo as your heartthrob, and be happy. I mean, there is so little in art that truly makes us happy that if that makes you happy, don't let my dislike of it spoil it for you. And there's no need to call me names just because I dislike it. It's all personal preference. And personal preference was what the discussion over vacation turned out to be. As someone said, can you recommend a couple of romantic comedies that are just good movies? And it sparked a huge debate at the gathering I was at when I suggested Love Actually, which is a multi-character. Hugh Grant is probably the most well-known actor out of the whole bunch, but it's a film with multiple layers, multiple people meeting and coming and going, and to me it was really clever, really enjoyable film, and also kind of a nice one for the Christmas holidays too, because there's a little bit of a Christmas theme in it. One of the people who was at the gathering where I was discussing Love Actually hated it. Actually had it in their library because they had bought it on someone else's recommendation, had the DVD and watched it once and had hated it, and that person was willing to hand it off to the other person right away, which I thought was interesting. So that got me to thinking, if I were to suggest 5 romantic comedies, what would they be? And Love Actually was one that I had on the list. Not necessarily that it's a great film. I think it's a good film, but it's just something different, something enjoyable. The other films I came up with on the list I find kind of interesting because as much as I'd like to think that they're based in reality, they probably really aren't. One clearly is not. Down with Love, the Renee Zellweger, previously mentioned Renee Zellweger, Ewan McGregor film, which is essentially a straight parody of the old Rock Hudson, Doris Day movies. I thought it was fantastic, made me laugh, great story, really kind of a complex piece of film, and even if you don't appreciate it for that, you can appreciate it for a lot of the silly jokes that are in it. Annie Hall, the Woody Allen movie that basically was meta before we called it meta. Self-referential, a lot of breaking of the fourth wall. Again, just an excellent film in general. Cute, doesn't have a happy ending. Sorry to spoil it for you, but still a nice, fun film. Goodbye Girl, which does have its happy ending. Again, completely unrealistic. None of us live in the world where something like that would happen, but I think a lot of us would like to. And the fifth one, completely ridiculous, but still, at one time was the highest grossing comedy ever, Tootsie. Fantastic performances by everyone, by people top to bottom in that movie. So those are the 5 I'd recommend, and really can't go wrong with any of them. I'm Tim Kane, a romantic at heart, and I'm at my desk.
Bye.